Alrighty, so in this video, we're gonna talk about some of the things that I don't like about the Mavic 4 Pro. Now, there's not many things not to love about this drone, but there are a few annoying things that you're going to want to consider, especially if you're a real estate videographer or photographer. Let's get started. What's good, everybody? Ken here. You're watching OriginaldoBo, and I've had the Mavic 4 Pro for just about a month now, and so far the experience has been pretty good, with a few minor caveats, which I'm going to discuss here in this video. Jumping right into my number one complaint with the Mavic 4 Pro, it's the wide angle lens. So DJI made a decision to use a 28mm lens on the Mavic 4 Pro. I'm not really sure what the thought process was behind it. If I had to guess, because that gimbal rotates, they were trying to eliminate props from entering into the shot. But when they did that, they gave us a bit of a limitation that I really don't agree with and really can't get used to. So I have been using the Air 3S for the past few months for real estate videos and photography, and it's been fantastic. I find that the field of view to be more than acceptable to get a full house in the shot. And if I need photos, like tight photos, like sort of from an elevated position, I found it to be fantastic. The photos look great, and I can fit the entire house in the frame. And if I need to crop something out on either side, I have more than enough resolution to do that with those 48 megapixels. But with the DJI Mavic 4 Pro, you get 28mm, and there's no fixing that. There's no wide angle adapters for it as of this moment, which means you're sort of stuck with what it is, which in my opinion, it feels very, very limiting. Even more so limiting when you're doing the 4K crop mode for vertical video. You'll really notice just how close to a subject, or I should say, how far from a subject you need to be in order to capture the entire property. This is something that I wish DJI would have thought a little bit more about, or maybe even offered two different variants, one with a 28mm and one with a 24, or just provide a wide angle adapter, and that will pretty much solve this complaint overall. Now, full vertical mode sounds incredible. However, one glaring issue with the Mavic 4 Pro that if you're not aware of, you'll want to consider. When you flip the gimbal into true vertical mode, you only have about 7 degrees of usable tilt, 7 to 5 degrees of usable tilt. As opposed to if you left your gimbal in the standard position, you had a lot more freedom, a lot more travel to get the shots you need. Now, most of the time I'm coming from up like an up high elevation, which means I need at least about 15 to 10 degrees of tilt, and there's just not enough option for vertical video to do so. Not only that, at the full 6 or 7 degrees of tilt, it does cause some tension on the gimbal, and you'll notice that the gimbal will get some micro vibrations and shakes in there when you're trying to push that tilt at its furthest point. This is a bit of a bummer, sort of a letdown, but again, you still get that 4K video as well, that you can use that 4K vertical video, but the field of view is going to be cropped from like a 4:3. It's almost like an open gate 6K image that's giving you that vertical format. But I don't feel like the field of view is equivalent to doing true vertical. So if you're somebody that is buying this specifically for reels, real estate reels, just know that the true vertical video is going to be somewhat useless if you're in the real estate industry. All right, let's talk about the number 3 complaint I have, and it's not necessarily with the drone itself, it's actually about the RC2 Pro, and it's whoever designed these antennas, the antennas only go downward. Now, if you're working with this RC and if you need to set it down, you're constantly having to set this RC down on the antennas. I would have loved for there to be some rubber footies or just something here to prevent these from breaking or even getting marred up from laying it on the concrete. This is a bit of an annoyance here, but it's not something that I can't work around or find a solution for at that. It's just something that, like I said, over the past couple of weeks, I've just noticed like I find myself wanting to set my RC down. I have to either fold my antennas in or lay it down like this carefully so that way we don't break the antennas or scratch them up. Again, just a minor complaint, but something worth noting. All right, and let's talk about my next complaint, which is the difference in resolutions from each of the 3 cameras that are on the Mavic 4 Pro. So the Mavic 4 Pro can shoot up to 6K 60 frames per second on the main wide angle lens, but none of the other lenses can do this. I would have loved to see just one lens, much like the Mavic 2 Zoom, where we just had a optical zoom lens where we can zoom in and out from wide to tight shots, while also maintaining that full 6K resolution. I hate the fact that I have to decide in between those different resolutions, and if I decide to shoot in 4K crop for the vertical content, well, now I'm getting 2.7K out of those sensors, so it steps even further down from the full 4K that you get on the main wide angle lens. So this is, again, a bit of a compromise in my opinion, a compromise that I don't think needed to be on a pro level drone like this. And then the last thing that I don't like about the Mavic 4 Pro should be the most obvious. It's not available in the United States. And quite frankly, I'm tired of reading the comments of people bitching that this is not available through DJI's official distribution chain. With that being said, you can purchase this through third-party vendors such as DroneWorks, Adorama, or even B&H. And if you're feeling really froggy, you can take your ass across the Canadian border and pick one up from those retailers there. But keep in mind, there's no warranty here in the States for this, so this is gonna act like a gray market product. So it's probably a good idea to go ahead and put some form of insurance on this in case you do have an accident. Your $5,000 drone that you still don't know how to fly any better than the previous drone that you bought is secured and protected. All right. That's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed and you're still curious as to why American influencers have this drone in their hand, be sure to click this video down here. And if you're unsure of what you're doing with your new product, make sure you click this video here.
I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message on me, ain't no flexing on me, my attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me, my success has only made him.